Hi, Bart from Independent Games Workshop here. Welcome to a very exciting tutorial on how to use these bad boys here. Now, these guys are what makes Underverse a lot of fun. There's all sorts of powers to choose from. I think we have a couple dozen of them already up there. More on the way. They all do different things, so to eliminate the confusion what they do, I'm just going to walk you through how to cast them and demonstrate a couple powers. So first things first, these are your power icons. You remember setting those up here when you went into the power selector to group them and put them in your tray. In game, now you see them down here. So let's go ahead and cast a couple. So the first type of power is a direct damage, which is a ranged power. And when I hit the icon here, it will bring up some information. You could cast it. You could also expand it. Click this little guy. It gives you a tutorial. Pretty nifty stuff. You can click that again to cancel it. Down here, it also tells you how much mana and cooldown. Now, for one thing to note in this tutorial is I am playing a test version, so all the powers are pretty much maxed out, and when it comes to cost, thus I could kind of cast them at will. So that's not going to happen in the real game, but for demonstration purposes, that's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm going to go back to this guy here. So something about the icons is when an icon is grayed out, that means you don't have enough resources. And you could also see sort of this time looking doodad that appears when a power has been used or it's on cooldown. In this case, Mana Burst is on cooldown. So when my turn comes up, you'll actually see it fill up. So anyway, I'm going to just kind of move this guy a little bit here just to clear some room. I'm going to pick up some of that mana. So now it's my turn, so now it's full now. So if I want to cast it, basically you just click on it and then you just cast power and the screen will darken and you get this grid of where you could cast, and where you put your mouse shows sort of an overlay of the area of effect that the power will inflict. So I want to destroy these pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and click. And when you click, it casts the power. Pick up all the mana, and I'm going to take that spot. So Mana Burst is a pretty powerful power. Something about Mana Burst that should be noted is that it's a trinket, and trinkets are basically items, and they either fill up over time, or or you earn them from maps, or more on that when we actually get into character advancement. But that's something that should be noted about trinkets, is you can only equip one at a time, as you can see out here, and they just perform a vital utilitarian function. So that's Mana Burst, everyone's favorite power. It was actually the first power in Underverse. Actually, it was our first test where it was just a board and just Mana Burst. But now we have lots. So anyway, so the other types of power is we have what we call landmass attack. And landmass attack works this way. If I cast it, it will highlight which pieces you could use. You could either just kind of click on which landmass you want, and after that you can see it kind of glows. That means it's activated. And the way to use it is to attack, hence landmass attack. When you do that, it does much more damage. Seethe basically uses fire damage to enhance the attack of your landmass. And that's pretty much how Seethe, which is a landmass attack power, works. There's a couple more ways to use it, which I'll try to demonstrate real quick here. So I'm going to go ahead and oh, by the way, if you want to turn those off, if they annoy you, just go up here in menu, and turn the pop-up tool tips to off. And those things won't come up anymore. So, alright, let's show you what Seethe could really do. Now, Seethe has, if you read down here and you go into the information, it has a combo bonus of 4+. That means if I make a combo, like you learned in the last tutorial with this, it performs a secondary effect. Let's watch what that second does. So if I move this guy here and hit 4 at a time, we get something called a backdraft. And the things about landmass attacks is they all have different kind of bonuses. Some of them do more damage versus defended pieces, some trigger off of combos, some will actually move pieces back. They do all sorts of stuff. The majority of powers in Underverse will be landmass attack powers, because this is a board game and we don't want it to be a slug match between powers, but that's kind of the idea behind that. Anyway, so let's try this one out. What does this one do? This one's a kind of a cool one. It's a long-ranged kind of snipe, I would call it. It does a lot of damage to a single piece, and you have a heck of a long range on it. Like Underverse, this is a direct damage. As you can see, this has already been cooled down, and the range has been redded out, so it says I can't use it. And as you can see down here, there's a little warning symbol saying you can't use it because you don't have enough cooldown. So let's try a couple more here. Oh. Yeah, we're making these tutorials kind of rough-handedly here, so pardon the dust. Anyway, last type of power that we have is actually a landmass enchantment. And what a landmass enchantment does is it's very similar to a landmass attack, except it just puts the enchantment permanently on the piece that you select. In this case, it's regrowth, and if you read what regrowth does, what does it do? So it plants an enchanted seed of regrowth inside the landmass that spawns upon death. Ooh, that's sinister. Alright, let's see what that does. So this guy is already damaged pretty closely. If you want to see the damage on pieces, you just highlight them by moving your mouse over for a little bit. We got three hit points left on that, so I'm going to hit that and see what happens. Whoops! It just created more pieces. That's a very sinister power. Now note that this is a test build. Regrowth inside the game actually works slightly different. It doesn't spawn 6 pieces; it actually spawns 3. But yeah, just wanted to make it a little bit more obvious for show and tell here. So anyway, let's try a couple more. What else do we have? Ooh, we got Chain Lightning. What does that do? Chain Lightning is kind of fun. Basically what that does is it, well, it's Chain Lightning. Zaps just about everything that's connected to it. Again, if you want to read the descriptions, you just hit the little I key, and that will kind of tell you exactly what the powers do. You could also do that when you select powers on your power selection tool. A couple more powers to try out here. Let's see what else we got. We also have Solar Warmth, which is a healing power. It heals pieces. And then we also have a really cool trap power, which is actually it uses the direct damage mechanic, but this one's a little bit different. What it does is you could place a trap on a hex. Now the other player doesn't see that. You saw the effect, they don't see the little hex there. Now if a player moves over that spot, okay, here we go, it will steal mana from them. So your mana has been yoinked from that player and given to this one. Yay. So traps are kind of a relatively new type of power that we've introduced. It's a lot of fun. I use it. It's one of my favorite powers. I tend to play a lot of suckers that fall into my trap all the time. It's even fun to even, just as a little tip, put one right there. I'm sure your opponent will love that. So, one last thing about powers. Now, in this build, if you played before, you automatically know that these icons are a lot different from the old ways. It's a lot more descript. It also you could move your pieces. It'll actually update the range. For instance, whoops, not that one. I want to use this one. Here you go. If I move my piece there, the range will update by itself as you move, which is very useful if you want to kind of manually set up your range for your power. And if you want to cancel it, just hit that little X button. And also, my favorite feature of all is I could start using the keyboard to cast powers. So I don't need to go click, and then click, and then click. I could actually just hit, say if I want to use Seethe, I just hit 2 on my keyboard, and it's ready to go. And I can just move. And perform my functions there. I want to put a meteor, say right there, and hit 3, click, boom, and I want to finish it off with chain lightning, hit 5, zap the crap out of that. So that's the quick cast mechanic. If you're just starting out, I recommend just kind of using the icons, but if you're really ready to kind of move the game a lot faster and have a really quick left-handed or right-handed way to get to casting powers quickly, you just hit 1, cast an Underverse. If you basically 1 through 7 works. And if you want to cancel it, you just hit any key again, any of the number keys again, it'll cancel it. Very useful. And that's it. So those are the new features that we have for powers. If you want to change your powers, just watch the first tutorial on getting started on how to change your powers or your landmass colors or any of that. And off you go. Thanks for watching and enjoy.